move faster.
I made it.
Good job. I still had to wait on you. That's not acceptable.
That's the story of my life.
Man, I don't know. Putting this cup up there makes me nervous. The base of it's too small. Good freaking morning. Good morning. This looks dark. It's weird. I don't like it.
Look dark. Huh. Why is it so dark?
I don't know.
Did you turn down your brightness?
No, I didn't turn down nothing. Good morning, face worlds.
You didn't turn down anything. It was a double negative.
I didn't turn down nothing. I didn't do no things, never. Now, what is that one?
So that hat isn't crooked. Your green one is always sideways.
Good morning, all you awesome people. Good morning, Gordon. Good morning, Monroe. Welcome to Thursday morning. Yes, Thursday. It's a weird Thursday because, ta-da, Liz is here.
I'm not here.
Liz is normally not here on Thursdays, but she's here today.
I am today. Hello.
Hello. So, what we had going on? Why are we just getting on here today, Thursday?
Well, Monday was Memorial Day.
Yes.
So we weren't here.
Okay.
And yes, what day is it? Thursday.
Today is Thursday.
We've been teaching.
Tuesday, I had jury duty.
Oh, that's right.
I kind of want to talk about that a little bit.
The day was a blur.
It was a very interesting process. I did not get selected to be on the jury, which was a surprise, not at all. But I think I looked at the docket this morning. My case is still not my case, but the case that I had the potential of being on the jury on.
That would be awkward.
Is going on, supposed to be going on through tomorrow. So I might try to go up there tomorrow since I'm off and see the conclusion of it. I really wish, if I didn't have to teach the rest of this week, I would have stuck around because it was a case that relates to what we do.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to get into it too much now. I'll wait till see how things pan out, and then we'll maybe talk about it next week. I don't know what our schedule looks like next week, but
probably busy.
Probably, which is good.
Okay.
But so I'm kind of interested. Hopefully the trial does go all the way through today and continues on tomorrow, and I get to go check it out. Anyway, yesterday, what did we do?
We had our Lady Sentinel meeting.
Yes, our
second one.
So we've done a whole 2 of these now. So now Liz is definitely an expert. I cannot wait to see all the photos from this event. When do I get to see them? What do you mean? Where are they at?
We didn't take any.
Why did you not take photos?
I'm so sad. I don't know. We get so excited. We're just there to hang out and enjoy shooting. No stinking pictures. We're there to
acceptable.
We're there to train and enjoy each other's company.
So what was this one on?
Range safety and etiquette. So we're doing this 2 per month, and they'll be covering the same topic because we have so many people signed up. We wanted to give the opportunity for everybody to learn the materials, and it's really kind of neat because even myself going through the whole range check-in process there's a lot of things to consider. And when I made the little slide for it and everything, I look at the slideshow and I'm like, holy crap, like there's a lot of stuff to cover. But being in the world for a while, we have all this stuff. We have all those boxes checked, like our ear and eye protection and our range bag and the clothes that we wear to the range. But there's so many things that newer shooters don't consider because they don't know what they don't know. So it was just kind of interesting because I learned from it too, just a refresher on what's it look like to go to the range. Like, what was the class we took? Well, when Jedi came, or if we were to leave the building to go take a class. When we went to Sparta, it was like, what the heck are we bringing with us? Because we haven't packed a range bag in a while because we train here. So it's a whole new event to pack a range bag.
It messes me up when I'm at home and trying to pack a bag to go somewhere else to shoot because, I have a desk here with a bunch of stuff in it, and Yeah, I've got stuff here. I shoot all the time, so, or at least I'm around shooting all the time, and I have those little things here already. And it makes me nervous when I travel someplace that I'm going to forget the basic stuff like my ear protection.
Right.
Because I don't have to think about that when I shoot here.
You know what else I got nervous about was when we went to Vegas, and I had to look through all my bags a gajillion times to make sure that I didn't have anything in there that was tucked away, like a magazine or a round of ammunition or something.
Going to the federal courthouse. So the case that I had the potential to be on the jury on is a federal court case, or federal case, and obviously any courthouse, they're not going to let you come in with anything. So I had to, I double-checked my pockets 6 times before I got down there. And it's funny, when I went through the metal detector, they have, just like at the airport, a little bowl you got to put all your stuff in, and any bags go through a machine and all that. Well, my chapstick, I put in there. The guy's like, "What's that?" I'm like, "That's chapstick?" He goes, "It looks like pepper spray." I was like, "That's not pepper spray, it's chapstick." I have an addiction. I have a problem. I need a large chapstick. Anyway.
We were at Lowe's the other day, and Nick saw those, my husband, and he was like, "What the heck? Have you ever seen this?" Like, yep. Phil uses it every day.
Yep. Anyway, so speaking of range etiquette and range
rules,
what the heck are we talking about today?
Rules.
Range rules. So what are the 4 fundamental safety rules?
Treat all guns like they're loaded. I'm already messing it up because it's
just say
a fear change. Don't point at anything you don't want to destroy. Finger straighten off of the trigger until you've made a decision to fire, and know your target what's beyond
4
and around it.
4.
I really wanted to
gnaw on a digit and throw it away. So those are 4 fundamental safety rules that have been around for a long time. I don't remember when they became popular in the 50s or 60s.
Colonel
or
Jeff
something.
Cooper.
Yeah,
I think it was the 50s or 60s.
So anyway, this pamphlet here came from a class that Vinny was recently in, basically saying should we change that? I tried looking for this. I was really hoping this was online so other people could download it and read it, and I could not find it. But it's by Cody Blocker, The New 4 Rules of Firearm Safety. And essentially he challenges those 4 safety rules to a degree, right? And truthfully, Liz and I literally talked about this 2 weeks ago, maybe, that I have problems with those safety rules because they're not. We try to say that they're absolute, and they are not. And it's the words you say mean things, and then when you say, "Well, this is what I want you to do," but in this case you don't have to worry about it, and in this case you don't necessarily have to worry about it. And when you do this, don't worry about it there either. So Cody essentially takes adaptations of those rules from other trainers, not simply stuff that he's made up. And we've done this here as well. We'll say, keep your trigger, straighten out the trigger, until you decide to fire. Or until your sights are lined up on target, you made the mental decision you want to shoot your gun, right? And then we'll maybe change it to say, well, now I don't really care if your sights are lined up between your eyes and your target. At the basic level, that's what we want. But now you can start prepping your trigger as you're pressing it out. And so we kind of, and when you're in your living room and you're trying to follow a YouTube video and take your gun apart, and where are you pointing your gun towards something you don't want to destroy? I'm assuming there is nothing in your house you want to destroy. So I've always had a problem with that rule, right? That it's not a rule. It's somewhat of a suggestion. So in the big picture for newer shooters, I think that it works well, except that it can be confusing when you start to dig into the world a little bit more. And I don't like that confusion. So
I have another question for you, because we'll go over these in a second. but I'm going to say it out loud so that way I don't forget it. Hold me accountable too. A holstered gun. Okay, just a holstered gun, and it's. I mean, obviously, I have a loaded gun pointed at my femoral artery right now.
Yep, as do I.
Yeah, and where does that fall within the safety rules? So, well, do you want to talk about that one now, or you want to come back to it?
Well, I could talk about the way that I always articulated it before, because that question would come up. Like, well, you have a gun inside your waistband pointed at you right now. When you were sitting down, the gun is pointing at you. Yeah, but I'm not handling the gun.
Right.
Right? So, this thing, this hammer, this screwdriver, this tool isn't going to do anything without input from me. And as long as I am storing it safely, in this case it's loaded but the trigger's covered so the gun's not going to go bang, it can be pointed that way. If the gun was loaded in your bag and it's pointed to the left or to the right or whatever, it's pointed at other people, but it's hopefully it's in your bag, it's in a holster, and that holster securely attached somewhere, and the gun's not moving around and flopping around anywhere, that's safe, because the gun's not being handled. It becomes unsafe if you just drop a gun in a bag and didn't make any noise.
You need to make your super cool noise. You
Failed!
failed. Hold on, wait. Ready?
They probably can't even hear
We're
it.
so dumb.
These poor people, all 5 people that are watching us right now are like, what the hell am I doing this morning? We're trying to, maybe you'll waste your time, but not really.
Anyway, so a holstered gun, at what point does it become negligent to put a loaded gun
Let's not
in
go.
places?
'Cause
Oh, yeah, right. That's the other
That's
article.
a whole nother thing.
We read another article about negligence, so we're not going to get into that one. That one's a bunch of legalese stuff.
Yes.
Anyway, okay, so let's just start at the beginning. Rule number 1, which is...
Treat all guns if they're loaded.
Treat all
That's
guns...
as we know it right now.
Well, hold on. Rule number 1, as per Colonel Cooper,
Yes.
all guns are always loaded. Even if they are not, treat them as if they are. Okay, so if you're treating it... Go, say it.
Hate it. I just absolutely hate that rule. I understand the thought of it.
Sure, absolutely. You have a lot of respect for it. That's
Yeah,
what
That's
we
what
usually turn it into.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be, is a deep respect for the tool and the dangers that it presents if you don't treat it right. But I'm not going to always treat every gun as if it's loaded when I know for absolute fact that it's not loaded.
And if it was loaded and you were treating it like it's loaded, then you shouldn't be doing certain things like dry fire, cleaning it, and things like that. So if you treat it like it's loaded all the time, that it gives you a very small box to work within. So they change it in here. It's not really adding on to it. It literally change it. Is always know the status of your weapon, and that
Perfect.
makes always know the condition of your firearm. If it's unloaded, then make sure that you know and treat it like it's unloaded. You're still going to have a lot of respect for it. It doesn't mean that you get to be casual with it and be flagrant and all that stuff. And then if the gun is loaded, treat it like it's loaded. Regardless, when you're handling a gun, you need to be in the mental state to be handling a gun, loaded or unloaded. I went through this last night when we were talking about just picking up your gun. When you pick up your gun, if you're not here, put the gun back down. It's not worth talking about your weekend while you're dry fire practicing. It's not worth all that. Just, if you're going to handle a gun, put yourself in a mindset to make sure that you're always focused on it, you have a lot of respect for it, and that you're always familiar with the condition of your gun. If it's been sitting in your hand for too long and you're talking to somebody else and you're like, oh crap, I don't remember the condition of my gun. Check. Always know, without fail, what the condition of your gun is, period.
That one change to me is worth
Huge.
Yes.
It's massive. Because it gives you a different, I don't know, it's always know the condition of your gun. It's not never treat the gun as if it's unloaded. It's hard to put parameters around never. It's easier to say always do this. So you have a specific thing to do rather than trying to think of all the things you shouldn't do.
Yeah.
So, good morning, Ray.
Kent, good morning. Ray, good morning, and you are welcome.
Oh, I missed Kent. Good morning, Kent. So, always know the status of your weapon. And one other thing that I will also explain it when I go through safety rules is that rule number 1, you have to train yourself to have respect for the gun. You have to train yourself to know the condition of your gun. You have to train yourself to get confident and focus when you're handling a gun. It's like the first time you gave a toddler some scissors. Like, hey, just cut this little piece of paper, no big deal, right? Except for as soon as you put the scissors in their hand, they're like, poking out eyeballs and running around with them like crazy.
You're supposed to do.
Oh, dang it, bad example. So you have to train your toddler to walk around safely with scissors or pointy tools and things like that. You had to as well. Whenever you started cutting vegetables for the first time, you got to learn how to handle the knife and things like that. So it takes practice to handle it safely.
You ever watch somebody cut vegetables or meat or whatever, and you're just like,
Oh, yeah. Especially when I watch myself.
Really?
No, I'm kidding. I'm okay. I try to...
Sorry, Cindy. I love you, but dang it. Sometimes... Actually, it's funny. She'll start cutting stuff, and I'll walk in the room, and she'll just go, what?
And that sounds like Nick, too.
Yeah, I'm like,
It's usually when I'm just operating in my normal environment, about to knock things over. So he's like constantly ready to catch stuff. Anyway, okay, so rule number 1, always know the condition of your firearm. Treat it with a lot of respect and train yourself to be safe. You have to practice being safe with your gun. Yes,
Janet,
I do have
good
a
morning.
knife phobia, Gordon. I do. Good morning, Janet. All right, so rule number 2 is... It's your turn this time.
I
we
don't remember.
We have to read it off the paper.
Yeah,
Never.
because so we were talking about this morning, like how hard, if we make the decision, which truthfully I want to change the way that we teach these to this way, that's going to be tough because I've been saying them the same way for a long time. Yes, a long time. So what's number 2?
Never let the muzzle cover anything you are not willing to destroy. We fought about this the other day.
We did fight about this.
So we were making the safety video for the waiver, and we were recording me talking about the safety rules, and I would, without fail, say, never let the muzzle cover anything you don't want to destroy. I have said it that way for years, and I always explain the muzzle and cover, what that means. I always demonstrate, like, while I'm doing it. So I say, I'm holding a gun in my hand. I say, never let the muzzle, the business end, cover anything you're not willing to destroy. So I do like a visual thing as well. But muzzle and cover, it's not normal language. It doesn't make sense. So if we could have a safety rule that just makes a little bit more sense, which is what I am starting to say now.
Muzzle and cover are gun words.
Gun words, yeah.
They're
like round.
Yeah, it's a weird word that can mean different things in different contexts. And if you don't already have a background in this world, those words could mean something totally different to you. So I very much dislike that.
Yeah. And again, we're talking about never let the muzzle cover anything you're not willing to destroy. I mean, anytime you're handling a gun, just like what you were saying earlier, I don't want to destroy my wall. I don't want to destroy that chair over there. You know, and for how long do you consider that? So
what's the update?
Good question.
Good question.
Always keep the gun pointed in the safest direction possible. The safest direction possible. That makes good sense.
That makes total sense to me.
And it's always.
Yep.
Always keep the gun in the safest direction possible. John Correa from Active Self-Protection says, always keep the gun pointed in the path of least consequence. Yeah. So it's just another way to say essentially the same thing, but, you know, different words resonate differently with different people. So always keep the gun pointed in the safest direction possible. That one makes pretty good sense.
Yep.
One of the things that he was talking about was, let's say you're on the ground grappling with somebody in a fight for your life, and you need to get your gun out, but you need to cover your own knee in the process. Does that mean that I'm not
Cover
going
my knee with a blanket?
See what you did there.
Wrap it with an ace bandage? What does that mean?
Would that be covering? That'd be wrapping, sir.
I'd still be covering it.
I don't want to point. I don't want to point the muzzle of the business end. I don't want to point the gun at my knee as I'm going to point the gun at my attacker. But I might have to in order to get. I'm just grabbing it out of its holster, so I'm going to be pointing it at my leg. So it's one of those never rules that doesn't always make sense.
It very rarely makes sense, truthfully. Yeah. Outside of a very controlled environment on a range where you're not handling the gun coming off of your body, it's maybe already on a bench, or you're taking it out of a bag and putting it on a bench, that's about the only time that you can say that, right? You have a group of people you bring in, there's already guns on the counter, they're already facing that way. How they got there is magic fairy dust because they didn't get pointed anywhere else prior to that. They just poof, snap your fingers, and here you go, and they appear. And then that's that. So what's I don't know what I wanted to say there.
You wanted to reiterate the second rule again? Always keep the gun pointed in the safest direction possible?
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I was going to go down a rabbit hole of something else. It's not.
That's not allowed.
I don't have the time right now. So let's just move on to number 3. What's the original number 3?
Keep your finger off the trigger till your sights are on target. Oof. How do you know if your sights are on target if you have to shoot from right here? How do you know?
So I would argue that one a lot. So I would articulate this one differently, because I would say till your sights are lined up between your eyes and your target. Then, once you make the mental decision to shoot your gun, then and only then you put your trigger finger on the trigger. And I would say that at the basic level classes. And then at higher level classes, I would say till your sights are lined up on target. I don't have to be looking through my sights for them to be lined up on target.
Right.
Right. So I can start putting my gun is pointed at the target. I can aim like this, right? I'm not aiming using the sights, but I know that my sights are lined up on the target. I can aim at Nick this way. I'm not looking at anything, but I can point at him, and I know that I'm aiming at him.
Do you remember when we took the... You got him, too. Do you remember when we went to... I'm sure you do. Ileta, and we were doing the 360...
When did we go to Ileta? I don't remember when that was.
I know.
Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
So he was having us crush the gun here between our hands. It was a way to circle out at someone trying to get your gun. It's a different technique for sure. But he was also explaining some different techniques to, I don't remember it now, but you're basically using your whole torso as you're aiming, as your way of aiming. So I wonder how they talk about safety rules in a class like that for that. Is it CRA? What's the... It's like some 360-degree gun handling thing. It's weird. But my question would be is how do they go through the safety rules with their students? I mean, it's a gun class, so they need to go through their safety rules. We didn't take the live gun class. We just used blue guns. So I don't know how they would articulate safety rules. Interesting. But
well, you're still not covering yourself.
Well, all I'm saying is, based off of this.
I just said the word. You're still not pointing the gun at yourself, right?
But the whole thing is whether or not you see your sights versus, and Gordon says it very well, aiming versus pointing a gun are two different things. It's, kind of. I think aiming is I guess it would be the same.
I'm 100%. Just because you don't have sights on something doesn't mean you're not aiming.
Absolutely. Right? I think it's the colloquially...
What's the word?
Colloquially. What most people define as aiming is looking through your sights. That's what most people define as aiming.
Yeah.
That's not
that's
correct.
not true.
Yeah, because you could aim from right here. It's just you're not using your sights to
Correct.
do so.
Yeah. You are either using your sights or not using your sights. But
Yeah.
You can still be aiming the gun.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can still be aiming the bow. You can be. I don't have sights on a baseball when I'm throwing it at somebody. I can still be very certain that when I throw it, that I'm looking at this person. I'm aiming where I want to throw the ball to. I shot a bow competitively for a while. When I was a kid. No sights, recurve bow. That I'm still aiming. Just because I don't have sights doesn't mean I'm aiming.
Hey, Google.
Doesn't mean I'm not aiming.
What's the definition of aiming?
Oh my goodness! Why are you doing this?
Point or direct.
Point.
Point or direct at a
Yes.
target.
Boom. Done. We win.
Boom, done. We win.
Anyway. Two
like-
different ways. Poor Gordon. He's like, me. We're gonna argue. We're arguing, Gordon.
But here, the truth of the matter is your finger, as you develop into a higher level shooter, can start moving towards the trigger as you're presenting the gun on target before you're necessarily looking through your sights. Just different dynamic encounters could require you to have to discharge the gun without
with my
aiming.
student yesterday, and he had so much fun. It was so awesome.
I felt like Bart Simpson there for a
was like-
second.
It was.
What are
He
you
was-
talking about?
Just prepping the trigger as he was presenting the gun. He thought that was, it's such a simple thing. He thought that was the coolest thing ever. He presented his gun and goes bang. He's like, go! And he hit the bullseye. It was awesome.
It's so awesome how efficient you can be.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And it's funny. This guy's like, I don't know, he's like 6'8". He's like this wide. And I'm like, try to do a high five. And it's like, I start getting nervous about like, he's going to rip my arm off. Great.
Why does he carry a gun?
I don't know. They don't need it. It's a gigantic human. Nick, good morning. What? Oh, thanks for trading green beans for the pew-pew.
So there's also the
most
concept of you could be.
Just so you know, I have like 15 minutes.
Okay, I don't. Maybe I won't go down the rabbit hole.
Don't go down the rabbit hole right now. Let's move on to the next rule. What did we just do?
Trigger finger.
Okay,
Rule
did
number 3.
we didn't. All we talked about was the original, not the new, right?
Yeah, we did.
Did we talk about?
Yeah,
the
we
new?
said always because the new is always keep your finger on the. Oh,
Yeah,
we didn't.
We didn't talk about.
We just talked about the decision,
Yeah.
not necessarily aiming. Okay, or the finger. Oh, jeez, she has a list.
Yeah,
It's not mine. I'm just reading.
Yeah.
And we're just taking snippets. Okay, so the new rule for instead of keep your finger off the trigger till your sights are on target is always keep your finger on the slide until you've made the conscious decision to fire. So you're changing it from never to always. So you always keep your finger here on the slide. You're giving someone a specific point
specific spot.
to put their finger versus never put your finger on the trigger, which is be like, okay,
I can be all over the place.
put it on the front side, I could put it on the ejection port or on the magazine or whatever. So always keep your finger on the slide until you've made the conscious decision to fire. Okay, whether that's I'm aimed in at my target or I'm shooting from the hip or whatever it is, it's like you're making the decision to fire, then your finger goes to the trigger. If I am pushing my gun out to the target and my finger starts to go to the trigger, I'm prepping my trigger, but I'm not doing that until I know that I could fire the gun safely and hit my target. So,
Morning, Charles.
Morning, Phil.
Dang, I wish I would. He jumped when I yelled at him. That was great.
you could have waited till he was like right behind us so we could all see.
I know. I wish I would have. He moved too fast.
He made,
Charles
almost made me jump.
swift.
He's swift. All right. Any more nuances?
I
Chinese
like
food
that. The only obvious the only issue I have with that one is it's specific to semi-autos, right?
Yeah.
Which is and he talks about that in here that's a challenge, right? The use of a semi-automatic pistol is, far and away more substantial than the use of a revolver. So when we were talking about do we want to actually change these, and if we do, what are the words we're going to use? Do we just add in there slide/cylinder, which is probably what we would do, because we have a fair number of people that are using revolvers. Typically, they realize after they take the class that I need that semi-auto thing, but not always, and that's okay. But it gives you a place to put your finger definitively, and I think that's smart. Yep. I like it.
It's JB's birthday. Happy birthday,
JB.
Brown.
Good morning and happy birthday. Even though you're not watching, but somebody tag JB.
I bet that's what he did right there.
We just can't see it. Jeff Alley. Good morning, sir.
There was something else I was going to add about
well,
that. But
that's a shame that you forgot. Let's move on.
Darn it.
Dag nabbit.
Dag nabbit. Oh, boy, your age is showing. I said that one time, and my family members my mom and my sister looked at me like, wow, you just...
Kind of like how I'm looking at you right now.
Grew up like 30 years. No, you can only say dag nabbit if you're...
Interesting. Anyway, you can move along now.
I started off the day by calling boss man old.
Time is a ticking.
All right, number 4. Identify your target and what is behind it. Never shoot at anything that you have not positively identified.
So that's the original rule.
Yeah.
And we don't articulate it that way, and I think most people shorten that up. But the way I say it is to know your target, what's beyond, around, and in between.
Yeah. And a lot of times I have also heard it say, know your target, and it's
You
foreground.
heard it what?
I don't know. What did I say? Did I mess it up?
You said, I heard it said. I'm pretty sure that's what you said.
I heard it say.
I've heard it said. It's do the thing with the thing.
Forrest Gump's coming out. Now I don't remember what I was saying.
That's a shame again. So what's the new version of it?
This one's okay. This one's it's a mouthful.
It is a little bit wordy.
Always positively identify your target, its foreground, background, and immediate area before shooting.
And it makes sense.
Absolutely.
We argued yesterday about the word positively. Like, does that need to be there? And I think it's kind of a...
redundant?
Yeah, kind of.
Wait.
We
I
can
can
talk
see it
about
either
that
way,
for a while,
sure.
but I personally, and I'm certainly no wordsmith, but I personally don't think that it needs to be there, but I can understand why it's there. Yeah.
You're not no wordsmith?
Like every time I join, gosh dang it, freaking little pop-up.
The conversation goes off the rails.
Oh, it goes off the rails.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that should be a clue that...
Stop it. You're going...
You just shouldn't hang out with us, Nick.
You're scaring away the people.
I'd scare away 1/6 of our audience right now. It's a substantial number.
So, what do you guys think about the new safety rules?
So read them all back to back.
Okay.
So here's the 4 new ones. Sometime today.
Always know the status of your weapon. Always keep your finger on the slide until you've made the conscious decision to fire.
Conscious what?
Conscious decision. Conscious decision.
Should we start that over? Should we just cut and reset so you don't screw it up?
Number 3, always keep the gun pointed in the safest direction possible.
I forgot we were live.
And number 4, always positively identify your target, its foreground, background, and immediate area before shooting.
I like them. I think they make sense. If I was trying to spit those out in a class today, that would be very difficult because they are exactly the same but completely different. Mm-hmm. I think I just spit on you. Sorry.
You could have just went on about your business.
Yeah. Well, I thought I'd just throw that out there as well. I'm just...
You should have made the noise.
I like them, and I think that we will probably start changing them here. Unfortunately, we just made if you haven't come in and had to do a waiver yet, you got to just redo one just for the heck of it, because we have a brand new video that you have to watch, and it's featuring. Wait. Okay, hold on. Can I get your autograph?
Get out of here.
Please?
I'm going to kick you.
Sign that.
Okay. You want me to sign it? I'll sign it.
But yeah, you watch the. Those are curse words.
How did you know?
Yeah, if you haven't seen our new waiver video, you're in for a super treat, because it's Liz is our rock star. Yes, she is a star.
The part downstairs when we're talking about going into the range and let's go shoot.
Yeah. Just, hey, let's go shoot. With 3 years on.
You did it. Nailed it.
It's fantastic. But we just finished that, and Charles just finished editing it and putting it all together, and now we got to change it.
No.
The whole thing. Hey, Charles is just like, what you did said?
What you did said.
So yeah, we'll see. But
Okay.
I think that it's important. I think those are better safety rules than the original 4. So
Word.
anyway, if you guys want to try to find it, again, it's.
You probably
Cody
can't read
Boone?
it. The new.
Not Boone. No, sorry, that's the wrong person. I know Cody Boone. That's a different person.
Shout out to Cody Boone.
Yeah.
The new 4 Rules of Firearm Safety by Cody Blocker.
Cody Boone's cool dude, though. He is. I don't know if he watches, but if he does.
No.
Good morning. Hi, Cody. How you doing?
That's random.
Long time no see.
Anyway,
All right. I almost just spit my coffee out of my mouth. What?
Well, you spit on me earlier, so you're going to spit coffee on me now.
Yes. Well, yes. It's a new video for everybody to watch. It's just a safety
Oh.
video, though. Just a safety video.
Yeah, when you watch your.
But we need to
Wait.
do one for range etiquette stuff too, and all that jazz. So that'll be a whole nother process. But I think we get Charles to do the acting in that one.
Yes.
Anyway, Charles again just popped up. He's funny. He's over there like working behind the desk, and his head just keeps popping up. Like, what the hell are they talking about?
He's not working.
That's it. That's all we got, because we got to run. I got to run anyway. She's not doing anything today.
I have work to do. I mean, technically, I have a little work to do.
I have to teach class to very cool people today.
Yeah.
So, cool person, really. Just one person, but that's okay. All right. Any final thoughts, parting words, distractive?
Always know the condition of your gun and treat it with respect.
Absolutely.
That's
Easy
it.
day.
Easy day.
Easy day. All right. You guys have a super awesome day. I hope you can get outside and enjoy the weather while it's nice. We've had such crap weather the last month or so, and
It is springtime.
It is awesome outside right now, and I think the rain's supposed to be coming back this weekend. So, yeah, go outside and do something. And if you're going to be inside, why don't you come here and hang out? We got all sorts of cool stuff. We got cool classes going on. We got all the good stuff. Oh, teachers.
Teachers
class.
trauma.
So we have our free trauma class that we put on each year for teachers coming up in like 3 weeks.
It's June 20th, I think.
June 20th or 21st. I had the 21st in my head, but I think you might be right with the 20th.
Wait, say that again?
June 21st is what I had in my head, but
I just want to know. It's the 20th, so that means
that I was less correct. You were right, okay? You were right. Elizabeth was right.
That's actually not the part that I like to hear. It's the you were
less correct than you.
Yeah.
I said it loud and live for the planet to hear. Mm-hmm. For everybody around the universe just heard me say that I was less correct than you.
Less correct. Less correct, Phil.
Yes. Now I don't know. Teachers trauma class on the 20th, not the 21st. So if you know any teachers, have them send an email to training@therangeSTL.com. We can get you signed up for that. What time does it start? Do you remember?
8
She
o'clock.
doesn't know.
8 o'clock.
So, Yeah, it's an awesome course. Come out, hang out, learn some cool stuff.
8 o'clock.
What else we have going on? Anything wild and crazy?
No.
No? Okay. 14803 Manchester Road in beautiful Baldwin, Missouri. You guys have a super awesome day. Stay safe. Be nice to one another. We'll catch you soon. Later.
Toodles.
Awkward.
Be awkward. You gotta be awkward. Well, you're always awkward. So now I remember that.
IDPA sign up on Friday.
Yes, but she's awkward.
Bye.